Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by Get Go Cafe and Market, where right now, Dale, they got their $4.99 7-inch subs.
And if you're a person who, likes to eat their way through depression,
this is a good opportunity.
It's probably a good opportunity to go get yourself some 7-inch subs, because the Steelers fall to 0-2 with a 28-26 loss on Sunday to the Seattle Seahawks. Also lose quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. We'll see what the extent of that injury is. Nobody was really talking a whole lot in the locker room after this game about it. It's an elbow injury.
Yeah.
And they really won't know anything until he goes and gets an MRI. Mm-hmm. That took place last night. We'll find out more about that as the day goes on today.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there could be so many things. It could be something big, could be something small, could be just an uncomfortable thing for him. But it's obvious. You saw after that one throw at the end of the first half, he was looking uncomfortable, and this is not a point in the season when you want to risk the guy that you just paid. You just paid a whole lot of money to carry you for the next 3 years.
Well, and he knows his body better than anybody else. And if he's saying that he can't go out there and play, he can't go out there and play. Mm-hmm. But I thought Mason Rudolph came in and did some good things in the second half. Did throw the one interception, but really wasn't his fault. That was more on Dante Moncrief.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But I thought, and the guys that I talked to said that Mason Rudolph was in command in the pocket. They liked his poise on the field. They liked the way he ran things. It just got to the point where the Steelers didn't have enough time to make a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, in 12 of 19 for 112 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the one interception that should have been a caught pass from Moncrief. Good day for Rudolph as far as a debut, but all in all, you're just asking for a whole lot for that guy to come in and carry you back to it on a comeback.
As David DeCastro told me, we're leaving our defense on the field way too long in these situations because we're not controlling the ball. We can't run the football because we're not possessing the football.
And that's what I wanted to get into. James Conner, 11 carries, only 33 yards. That's not a good sign for this offense. This offensive line was supposed to be able to they were supposed to balance this offense again because they passed too much last year. That running game hasn't gotten a chance to get started this year yet.
Well, I think part of the problem is the teams aren't respecting the deep ball right now. They're not respecting.
And they shouldn't.
They're not respecting anybody to beat them over the top, so they're loading up the box. If you watch on any given play, there are 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage,
and they're all and their first step is forward. They're looking for the run or even the short pass. But you're absolutely right. When a team doesn't have to fear a play action being hit over their heads, that's when you see them be more aggressive.
And you have to be play action. Anything being hit over their heads.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I think that flea flicker that Mason Rudolph got, I think that was a great call, because then the Seahawks were like, okay, well, maybe they can.
And it did open some things up for them a little bit, in terms of everything else kind of started to move a little better and flow after that play. But they need to get that going earlier in games, whether that be a flea flicker. They have to connect on some of these deep balls.
Yeah, it scares somebody.
Whoever the quarterback is.
All right, Hunter, thanks for joining the show.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk defense, because everyone's still the offense did have problems, but the defense still had their own issues later in the game. Early on, some big plays, keeping them in the game, good sacks, and then that went away in the second half. Mm-hmm. You saw that. What are some of the things you saw? I'll give my opinion on some of the things. What are some things you saw to take away from this game, both positive and negative?
I think negative's easier to start with this game, right? You see tight ends abusing inside linebackers again from the Steelers, and Devin Bush was supposed to be the guy to make that stop. Both touchdowns come against him in coverage, so that's not an encouraging sign. Now, he did pick up the fumble late and almost score on it, so there's something there for the rookie to build off of.
Certainly.
Positive, I'm going to go with Steven Nelson. Yeah. He looked great. They targeted him on the very first offensive play for a 15, 16-yard reception, but after that, nothing. Right. He had a pass defense and all-around solid lockdown coverage, even on DK Metcalf, the physical freak down the sideline, stride for stride. So some really positive things from him, I think.
No, I agree. Nelson only got targeted once against the Patriots, and in this game, he might have been their best defender on the field consistently throughout the game. The one touchdown that DK Metcalf had was on Terrell Edmonds, who had an up-and-down game. He missed a tackle early that made some big plays later in the game with the pass defense and then the big tackle on third down. But then you had the pass interference call, which everybody was talking about. But you saw the play he gave to Metcalf, which essentially Metcalf got the step on him, but it was just a perfect throw from Russell Wilson.
Pass.
That's not something I'm gonna say, oh man, Terrell Edmonds, anybody could have made that stop. No, that was a really good play. I think the biggest thing from the defense is early on you saw them get pressure. They were confusing the Seahawks offensive line. So the Seahawks, they shortened their throws up. I talked to Mark Barron. He said they didn't make any adjustments. We stopped executing, and both him, Hilton, Edmonds, and Dupree all were saying, this ain't on the coaches, this is on us. We were the ones that were there. We were in position and we weren't making plays. It's interesting, and they're all trying to rally around themselves, but when all these different people are making mistakes, that's not easy to do.
Yeah, do you see that as a positive? I mean, is that a good thing? Okay, you're taking responsibility for your issues, but you're still out there making issues. So what do you really make of that? How do you break that down?
Well, you continue to try and work on your things. The big thing is when you know what you're doing wrong, you can at least address it. You can work on it. You can practice on it. 3 years ago in 2016, when that defense came in, everyone thought it was going to be great because Ryan Shazier was coming in, but then they struggled against the Cowboys. But after that, you saw them in the middle of the season, it turned up, and that defense really turned things around. I think that's what this defense needs. Is just they're going to have a point in this season where people start to figure out how to work with each other, get more comfortable, and then less of those mistakes will happen. But I think a lot of the times this defense is not at the point where it can carry a team.
Sure.
And the way this offense is played, this defense is going to have to carry the team until something's figured out on that side of the ball.